All right. Welcome back to another edition of Confessions from the Backseat of a Georgia Country Boy. Appreciate all the love, the support, and also the views. Thank you for tuning in. Um, I hope I'm entertaining you. I feel like I'm giving you the best of me right now. So um, I got to say this. I have a lot of admiration, a lot of respect for comedians and anyone who can get up and talk about their lives and their hurt and their pain, because I feel like it is therapeutic, but at the same time, it's it's scary to put yourself out there and to have people be able to view and see your most sensitive, vulnerable side. But I'm finding fascination in it, and I got to tell you, my life is in chaos right now. And I say that not to get any sympathy, but just more so to let you know, like, I'm committed to sharing all of me. This is bigger than just me. I want to leave my mark for my kids and my family. I want them to know the sensitive side. I want them to know the hurtful side. I want them to know the embarrassing side. I want them to know everything. So today, again, we're happy Wednesday. Let's get into it. Today's topic is, I shouldn't say topic, a story. Um, it's about that illegal phone calls I made that led to my arrest back in the 1991, 92, 92, 92, 93, something like that, early 90s. Yes, I said it. Your boy got arrested. Some illegal phone calls that led to my arrest. Let's get into this. I know some of you guys are tempted. Already like interest is peaked. Like, what the hell? You got arrested? What's going on? Well, arrested, but not arrested. Yes. So I just got in the Marine Corps, and biggest thing is the conception. Just so you guys know, everybody seems to think once you get into the Marine Corps or get into the military, you're wealthy. That was back then. That was in the 90s, early 90s, 91, 92, 93. They thought like you're wealthy. Like I remember at times, man, just barely having 150, $200 just after payday, after your uniforms, getting everything together, and then the other responsibility. So I don't know where this your rich come from. The mentality of people thinking, yeah, your life is structured and you have a job, you got a paycheck that's coming in consistent because you are under a contract. That I guess that's what they think. I'll get into this. So we're in the Marine Corps, and again, still country young boy, no excuses. We'll get to it, and we'll tell you about the lesson learned at the end. But let's tell the story as it was. So, young man, living in the barracks. Like I said, little lack of money. All of us guys, we all just partied with the little money we had as far as jokes and spending time playing ball. You couldn't get out as much because like I said, lack of money. So one day we all go down, kids would go down, and of course you call your parents because wherever you're from, you go down to the lobby of the barracks and there's payphones. So back then, calling cards was huge. Parents and kids would buy calling cards, save them, call their parents, because it wasn't like today, long distance calling and all that. It was pretty expensive. So I walked down and I was getting ready to call my mom, of course, call and collect. Found a card and I used it and it worked. So, and I kept using this calling card. I was calling friends, people, everyone, just grandmother, everyone, just then. Didn't even think about like who's co-paid. I just figured, hey, they paid for it. It's gone. I'm using it. The average person probably would do the same thing, but in hindsight, like I said, we'll get to the lessons of. But let's get back to the story. So I use the card many times, and so I'm, going on my life, or whatever. And here it is, months later. I'm using the card now because it stops working. I'm like, okay, I guess it ran out. Whatever. Cool. So didn't think much of it, and then I'm sitting, getting ready to go to work in the evening. I worked the second shift from the 4 to like 12, and there's a staff sergeant. He staff sergeant Trussell, bless his heart. I guess the military police had did their investigation. They had basically called all these numbers and verified who was calling them. So they basically got back to me, which that is embarrassing, the uttermost, just very embarrassing for them to call and be like, hey, do you know anyone out in California who's talking? Yeah, my blah, 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 whatever. So that's how that happened. So they tracked down. So they went to my job to to make the arrest, to come arrest me. Yeah, so making false calls to arrest me, to come in, to question me, to do the whole nine. But I wasn't there because I worked the second shift. So staff sergeant called me. He said, hey, told me what was happening. He said, I went and like, they're going to arrest me over that? So I'm thinking like, I'm going to jail? Jeez, man. He calls me, tells me, he's like, I don't want them to pick you up like that. You're going to have some damn respect. So put your uniform on. Make sure you put a good uniform on. And I'm coming to pick you up, and I'm taking you in. So he came and picked me up, and he took me over, and then they took me over. And of course, when I got there, I think I mentioned this in one of the other stories, and the military police, I call them MPs, wanted to rough me up and handcuff me. And he was like, no, you don't need to do all that. He's here. But the guy felt the need in order to, like I said, rough me up a little bit with putting the handcuffs on me. Just know that being a black man from the South, it didn't sit well mentally, and it will never sit well mentally, right or wrong, because of the past. So we'll get into that to another day. So fast forward, your boy got arrested, got busted. They did office hours. Office hours meaning that when I got court-martialed, basically they gave me a suspended bus. Suspended bus meaning they put me on probation for 6 months. They put me on restriction duty for 30 days, meaning I had to go to work, get an hour and a half after work, and then report for another 4 hours of mopping floors, cleaning pissers and shitters, making coffee, sweeping outside. So 30 days of restriction, meaning I didn't go anywhere, couldn't go anywhere, even Saturdays and Sundays. I had to check in hourly. So every hour I had to come down and say, hey, I'm here. I'm here with the duty, NCO on deck. I lost all my pay. I was only making like $50 every payday. So $100 a month, basically disposable, because they took the money basically to pay for these credit cards and to pay them back. So I'm going to be on this for probation for 6 months. It was like, regardless, listen to my words. It was the punishment suited for what I did. But listen to the tone, the sound of it. You basically, I was property. I was owned for making calls on a calling card. I got arrested. 6 month probation, 30 days restriction where you work all the way up until 10 o'clock at night. 30 days where you had to check in every hour and hour except for being at work. No pay, basically, or your pay reduced down to about $100 for the month. That sounds more like I said you own somebody and turn them into a slave. I'd prefer to have been kicked out, to be honest with you, but needless to say, it led me to who I am and where I am today, so it is what it is. Yeah, that was a tough time in my life, and it was very embarrassing. And during that probation time, I got to tell you, every challenging thing that could have happened came my way. I had people challenging me out of the work because they knew I was on probation, and actually said it to my face. If I would have gotten into a fight, any altercation, whether it's my fault or not my fault, basically I would have been screwed. I learned a lot. I wanted to say I learned a lot from Staff Sergeant Charles, so thank you for teaching me to have respect in any situation, no matter what it is. Thank you for looking out for me. I learned that have your humility and also respect at the same time in any situation, but I learned what I did was completely wrong. And I will never downplay the punishment because it fitted the crime. But I will say that arrested over calling. Hey, kids, just don't play that game. Be honest, be straight up, be straightforward, and use your brains, man. If I would have just used my brains at that moment, I would have spared myself a lot of headache. So yes, your boy got arrested for using an illegal calling card, not a credit card, calling card. But learn my lesson. Never do it again. On to the next one, guys. Let's keep grinding.